Hi guys, this is Harish Maradi. Welcome to DevOps World. So last class we discussed about the Linux introduction, and so far we're seeing so far the user-defined commands. Okay, so today I'm trying to discuss about. So we are trying to move with the next topic, that is system-defined commands, and we are working on packages today. Okay, so basically, what is meant by system-defined commands? We need to know about this. So basically, if you're working on system-defined commands, definitely, as a Linux administrator, you're working with the admin role. Remember this, okay? So majorly, you're working on role, admin role to enhance your security. Enhance your security, security of your servers. Your servers, to enhance your security of your servers. So now I want to go with how the system commands will be replicated under the Linux administration. Okay, so we'll try to go with the cloud now. So without any waste of time, we'll try to move with the cloud. Okay, we are going with practical session now. Okay, let's go with the Google. We're trying to go with AWS. So that we are connecting the server now. So we already connected the server. Just we are trying to go with the connection of the terminal. So this is very important. So previously I told you how to connect the servers. Same thing which we are following right now. Okay. So for this I'm trying to go with. So I'm connecting the server. I'm connecting the server now. Enter. Click on yes. Let's clear the screen. Okay. So now we are trying to go with the system defined commands. Okay. So first we are trying to go with first system defined command. So how to check the URLs? How to check the URL? Suppose this is a Google web page, right? So I'm trying to show you the source code. This is a source code actually. Okay, so I'm trying to show the source code. And we've seen so far how we can work on the source codes. So this is a source code which we are trying to see the scripting file under the Google file. Okay. Similarly, if you want to see the scripting file in Linux, definitely we'll have to use the command curl. Curl, that is uniform resource locator, www.google.com. Google.com. Okay. So see here, we are where the page is redirecting with the source code. Where the Google page rewriting with the source code. This is a web page. What we are trying to see the source code. This is a curl. Curl stands for it's a uniform resource locator, and www stands for World Wide Web. We are trying to go with google.com. So this is what we are trying to see the source code under the server. Okay. So now next, if you want to see the list of passwords in server, you have to go with cat/etc/password. So where we can see the list of passwords in server, default passwords. Okay. So we can see the number of passwords, usernames, everything comes a picture here. Okay. So we can see the lot of passwords here as per the server. Okay. So now we are trying to go with next command. Let's clear the screen. Suppose if you don't know what is a particular command, for this you have user manual. That is, we are trying to go with a man. Suppose if you, I don't know ls. So ls stands for listing directories contents, where we have a lot of options here. So this is a listing directories as per your constraint norms. Okay. Q stands for quit. So suppose if I want to go with man, I can go with a cat. So cat stands for concatenate the files and print the standard output. Okay. So this is also one type of user manual. Okay. So please try to go with quit. Q stands for quit. Okay. So next, suppose if I want to filter, so whatever I'm using the passwords now, so like I'm going with cat slash etc slash password, etc slash password. Okay. So I have all the listing passwords, right? Suppose if I want to go with only first half password, for this I can use head slash etc slash password password. Okay, so first half will be displayed. First half will be displayed. And similarly, if I want to go with the last half, I can go with the tail slash etc slash password. Okay, so where last passwords will be displayed. Okay, so this is how we can filter the commands. Next, we are trying to go with let's clear the screen. So next we are trying to go with the next networking tool, that is netstat. Netstat. Netstat hyphen TUNLP. So network static, we are trying to go with TUNLP. So for this, so we need to see the configuration of your network. So for this, we are using sudo apt install net tools. So we are trying to install the net tools. For this, once you install the net tools, please try to go with netstat. We are trying to go with netstat hyphen TUNLP. Okay, so we have all the like TCPs, and we have a local IP address and foreign IP address, state of action, and we are trying to see the password. So active for internet connections. It will active for the only internet connections. Next, I can go with IPR. IPR. So we are trying to go with IPR. Okay, it is going with the error. So I can go with IP hyphen R. R stands for recursive. Okay, so we are trying to go with R. R stands for recursive. So we are trying to go with 172.31.16.1, and we are trying to go with these things. Okay, this is a subnets, and we have a Ethernets and kernel. So everything comes a picture here. So where IPR means Internet Protocol Recursive. Okay, so next we are trying to go with PS. PS stands for process state. How much process state you have, you're trying. So currently process state is bash, and so currently I'm working with a bash only, right? So that is the process state. Next to PS hyphen EF. If you want to see the full detailed information about the process state, try to go with this. So this is process effective force. We are working on process effective force. We are working with Ubuntu. We are working with Ubuntu pin bash. Okay, so the next command which we are trying to go with env. env stands for environment. What kind of environment you are working on? What kind of environment you are working on? I'm working with home Ubuntu. So login as a Ubuntu. Okay, so this is environment. Next, we are trying to go with next command, that is stop. Top stands for, so it is the whether your server is working or not successfully. Whether your server is working or not successfully. For this, we are using top. We are using top. Okay, so most probably top is working under the live mode currently. So see here, it is currently changing. Our timing is done, and see here we are working on Ubuntu. Okay, so this is a top command. Okay, so you are working with the live sessions. Okay, now next, Q stands for quit. Next, we are trying to go with the let's clear the screen. So now we are having one more system defined command, very, very important. So we are using every server, this one, sudo. Sudo is a super key, su hyphen. Okay, sudo su hyphen. It was going with a dollar to root. So we have two types of terminals here, that is dollar, and we are working with the root. Okay, so if you want to switch from dollar to root, we are using sudo. Sudo is a super key, and we are working on root users. Okay, so if you want to come back, you can go with exit. You can go with the exit. Okay, so now we have one more system defined command, sudo apt hyphen get update. So we are trying to update the servers. Okay, Yeah. So sudo apt update means we are updating the server. Now we are working with sudo apt hyphen get upgrade. So we are upgrading the server now. We are upgrading the server. Okay. So these two commands are very, very important for every server updations. Okay. So next we are trying to go with next one is if config. If config. I'm trying to go with if config. If config stands for Ethernets and we are working with the flags. Ethernets and we are working with the flags. That is if config. Okay. So next we are trying to go with the host name hyphen I. Hostname hyphen I. So what is our hostname means? You have to go with this. Hostname hyphen I means we are trying to go with hostname hyphen I. Next, we are trying to go with LSOF, list of. So list of. So where all the listing files will be there under the Ubuntu. All the listing files will be there under the Ubuntu. So list of means where we are working with listing all the files. Listing all the files. So we have a lot of listing files here. So list of means we are trying to go with, so we are working with command, process state, username, type, and node name. So everything comes a picture here. So we are working on list of. Okay. So now next we are trying to move with the next one. These are system defined commands, guys. This is ready-made versions. Okay. So ready-made versions. Okay. Now next we are trying to go with ping. I'm taking the private IP address. So this is my private number. Okay, or else you can go here also. So let's go with command. So take the instances, take private IP address, and you can try to go here. And so private IP address will try to give the entire scenarios from the things. Okay, so that is private IP address. Control C to come out. Control C to come out. So we are getting back to our server where the packets has been distributed for your private IP address. Okay. So the next command is we are trying to go with DF. DF stands for dual force. So here dual force mean we are having a file system here. We have a file system. So here basically why we are using file provisions, file system, I can tell you this one. So basically, if you're working on files, definitely we are trying to maintain the temporary files and we are trying to maintain the different types of dev routes and we are trying to go with the blocks, what is the memory size, how much it is used, how much it is available, how much it is mounted, everything comes a picture here. So we are trying to do all these things. Okay. So this is comes a picture of DF, that is dual force. Next, we are trying to go with DF hyphen TH. So DF hyphen TH, it is not processed. DF hyphen capital TH. So where we are trying to go with the type, where we are working with the type of the file systems, type of the file systems. Okay. Okay, so next we are trying to go with next command is ID. ID stands for we are working with ID. What kind of ID you're working on? You're working with user ID, we are working with the group ID, groups, and we are having permissions and we have everything comes a picture. We are working with the group IDs. Okay, so next we are trying to go with next one is we are working with W. So we have who are you? Who are you? Okay, so who are you means that is we are working on Ubuntu process state and we are working on these things. Next, we are trying to go with who are you? Okay, you can go with like this according to single user. We are working on single users. Okay, next we are trying to go with if you want to see the full detailed information, you can go with this. Okay, so who are you? Where are you? And W. Okay, we are trying to go with the entire full data and information about this. Okay, so the next one is which we are trying to work on the dig. So if you want to dig your entire details about your application, we are using dig www.facebook facebook.com. Facebook.com, where we are getting all the Facebook scenarios. Okay, we having a Facebook detailed information about this. Okay, next we are trying to go with dig. We are trying to go with www dot. So I can go with snapdeal.com. So I'm getting Snapdeal full information about this. Okay, Snapdeal. So this is completely full detail about your application details. Okay. So next we are trying to see the next one is we are working on. Okay. If you want to see the full detailed information about your previous files, I can go with history. So where we can see all the history files. Okay. So these are the server commands which I can notice from my Linux administrator. Okay. So you can try to go with this practice as per your constraint, but most probably server commands will take care about the system administrator. Don't worry about this. But as per the my side, I have noticed some commands. These are the commands which I was going through this according to the system defined commands. Next, we are trying to go with the next one is we are trying to go with next one is we are working on packages. So what kind of packages you're working on? That's very important. So packages are nothing but we are trying to work on the different powerful tools. That is, first one is editors. We are working on editors. Next, we are trying to go with second one is pipeline commands. That is filter commands. And next we are trying to go with the graphical user interface. That one is graphical user interface interfaces. Graphical user interfaces. Okay. The first one is which we are trying to go with editors are just like a notepad, guys. In Windows you have a notepad, right? In the same way in Linux also we are using editors. So that is in editors are very powerful to work on the different types of mode. Okay, so I can go with example. Okay, the first one is VI. I'm trying to go with source file. Okay, so it will act as a once you try to go with VI source file, definitely it will act as a command line. It will act as a command line like this. Okay, so it will act as a command line. Okay, this is the command line interface, and where we can write the text. We are writing paragraphs where we can write programs. Very important for your DevOps also. Please try to use this tool is very useful for your DevOps. Okay. So once you get this, we are trying to go with save and quit. We are working on save and quit. We are working with save and quit. Okay. So, and we are trying to maintain the operations. The first one is DD stands for delete the line. Okay. So the next one is we are trying to go with YY. YY stands for copy the lines. Next, we are trying to go with U. U stands for undo the lines. Next, we are trying to go with we have P. P stands for paste the line. Paste the lines. Okay. So this is what we are trying to do now. I can go with example to understand this concept. Now let's go with let's clear the screen. Okay, so now I'm trying to go with VI. I can go with the name of DevOps. Okay, DevOps. Okay, so it was act as a command line interface. Okay, so now go to insert mode. In your keyboard, press I. It will go with insert mode. Hi, welcome to. Welcome to. Hi, 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 welcome to. Welcome to DevOps world. DevOps world. Hi, welcome to all YouTube. YouTube. Okay. Hi, had a coffee. Coffee. Had a coffee. Okay. So this is what I wrote from my side. I can go with escape colon WQ enter. So I'm trying to go with escape colon WQ enter. This is what we are trying to go. Okay. So now if I want to display this message, I can go with cat. Okay. So it is connection timeout, guys. Now I'll try to go with connection again. Let's go with connection. So let's go with this. Now I can go with terminal. I can go with connection like this. And then. So, okay. Now you can see that cat, I can go with the name of DevOps. So I have a message here. I have a message. Okay. So whatever I was done in VA Editor, it was trying to converting into the CAD DevOps. Okay. So now I'll try to go with operations of DevOps. That is we are using VA Editor, right? So currently, where is my cursor? My cursor is somewhere in I had a coffee. Okay. So now I'll try to go with, I can delete this line completely. For this, I'm trying to go with escape. So for this, go to insert mode, escape. Okay. So DD stands for delete the line. DD stands for delete the line. We are trying to delete the file, entire file. Okay. So now I'm trying to go with the next line is DD. See, again, I'm using DD here. DD stands for delete the line. Okay. So now I want to go with YY. I want to copy the line YY. So I want to paste the line P. P stands for paste the line. See here, I'm trying to paste the line. So like this, you can try to copy and paste on your programming side. Okay. Now if you want to get your role data back, for this I'm using U. U stands for undo the line. See, I'm getting my old data back. So already you are in oldest change. Okay. So this is what we are trying to use. Editors is very important for your DevOps role. So escape colon WQ enter. Okay. So we are trying to go with save and quit. Okay. So now next move we are trying to move with pipeline commands. So basically what is meant by pipeline commands? Okay, we are trying to go with pipeline commands. So pipeline commands are very, very important to make a filter on your text. Okay, or words or sentences. So for this, we are trying to go with filtering about your commands. So I'm trying to take some content like line 1. I'm trying to take some content. Line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5, line 6, line 7, line 8. Okay, so we are trying to take some text, guys. So for this, what I can use here is first I'll try to go with a cat, then I can work on the progress. So for this, I'm using terminal. I'm using terminal here. Let's clear the screen. So I'm using cat. I'm trying to go with F1. F1. So it was going with text, and I'm trying to go with paste. Okay. So now Control C to come out. Okay. So if I go with cat F1, so these are the text which I was caught. Okay. Now I'm trying to use filter for this. For this, I'm using head -3 F1. So head -3 F1 means if only first lines will be displayed. First three lines will be displayed. Okay. So now if I was going with the tail, suppose I'm trying to go with 3 lines of F1. See, last 3 lines will be displayed. So head -3 F1 means first 3 lines has been displayed. If I was going with the tail, last three lines will be displayed. Okay. So basically head and tail is one of the major important role for the filtering commands. Okay. So now I want to go with both commands right now. So because I want to work on the pipeline. Okay. I'm using head and I'm using tail also. So for this, I'm using head -3 -3 F1. I'm using filtering command here. Tail -2 -2. Okay. So you see here, whenever you are trying to go with head -3 F1, tail -2 means it will try to start the filter. Filter line 2 and line 3 will be displayed. Okay. So similarly, if I go with tail -3 F1, I'm giving filtering commands head -4. So first, last three lines will be displayed because we are using tail -3. First preference will goes to source file, then it will filter according to that command. Okay. See, basically what is pipeline here is first it will try to go with intention of this particular command because we have a source file here and it will filter automatically. Okay. So this is what we are trying to go filtering commands. Okay. So next we are trying to go with next concept is packages. Okay, so here basically what is package here is package will comes a picture. Package will comes a picture. We are trying to go with packages. We are trying to work on the packages. Packages will works under the servers based upon the based upon the data centers. Data centers. We are working on data centers. Okay, or data warehouse. So for this, I'm trying to use one package D1. I just want to go with F1, D2, D2. I can go with F2. Okay, so D3, I can go with F3, F3. Okay, D4, I can go with F4. Next, D5, I'm trying to go with F5. Okay, so basically previously we seen so far the folders, right? Now we are trying to go with files also. I can view the files in graphical user interface. Okay, so in packages, I'll try, my target is I want to work on the graphical user interface. I want to work on the graphical user interface. Okay, so I'll try to show you the final output with the graphically. So we graphically. Okay, so let's see this now. So for this, what I can go with the terminal. So for this, what we can do here is first I can go with mkdir d1. Okay, cd d1. Okay, so mkdir d2, cd d2, mkdir dir d3, cd d3. Okay, so now in D3, I can try to keep a file touch F1. Okay, so now if I go with mkdir D4, cd D4, now I can go with touch F2. Okay, mkdir D5, cd D5, touch F3, mkdir D6, cd D6, touch F6. Okay, I'm taking some random files, guys. If I go with PWD, present working directory, I'm getting home Ubuntu. Okay, that is this is called absolute path. So now I'm going back to my home directory, home/Ubuntu. Okay, so I'm back to my home directory. Now if I go with so I want to work on the graphical user interface. For this I'm trying to go with data warehouse. Okay, so for this I want to create a branch for the tree. Okay, so I can go with the tree is a branch. We are trying to work on the graphical user interface. I'm trying to go with tree d1. Okay, so we are not getting any files here. First, we need to update the software, update the tree package. Then we can go with the graphical user interface. For this, I'm going with sudo apt install. I'm trying to go with cd apt install. Okay, I'm going with tree. Okay, I'm trying to install the software. Okay, so I'm trying to go with tree D1. So this is what we are trying to see the graphical user interface. Okay, previously we are trying to see in D1, I don't have any file, D2, I don't have a file because developer is giving multiple files. So then how can you recognize this? For this, we are using tree branching. For this, we are trying to work on the graphical user interfaces. Okay, so if you want to work on the anything like a progress, definitely we are trying to work on the different files of the scenarios. Okay, so basically what I want to say here is if the developer is trying to give the multiple files to you, how can you see the representation as admin role? So for this, we are trying to go with the graphical user interfaces. So for this, we are trying to go with the packages. Okay, so guys, I hope you understand what is the concepts today. So basically, we are trying to go with a scratch as per the DevOps engineer. Okay, so because this is very, very important for your deployment while we are working on the servers based upon the cloud techniques. Okay, so this is what we are trying to say. Tomorrow, we'll try to discuss some more tools about the Linux. Okay, so if you have any doubts, feel free to ask me in comment section. I can try to explain you very clearly. Okay, so thank you so much and have a nice day, guys.